Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, acting president in a national broadcast promises citizens an improved economy and also a country that works. Nigerians mark Democracy Day across the country, albeit low-key. A look at 2 years of President Muhammadu Buhari assessing performance in the areas of politics, security, anti-corruption, among others. And Moroccan police arrest leading activist Nasser Zefzafi for organizing months of protests following demonstrations in the country's major cities.
And on business news tonight, federal government reaffirms commitment to economic development as Nigeria commemorates Democracy Day.
On sports news tonight, Catalan giants Barcelona confirmed former Athletic Bilbao coach Ernesto Valverde as Luis Enrique's successor at Camp Nou.
And from Abuja, acting President Yemi Osinbajo announces 100 billion naira set aside for National Home Fund, the federal government's social housing project.
Happy Democracy Day. Nigerians were not woken up by the usual voice of the president, but the man who's holding brief for him, that's the acting president. Professor Yemi Osinbajo did the needful as he made a nationwide broadcast while he addressed the gains made in counter-terrorism and the challenges of trying to fix the economy 2 years after the government came into office on May 29, 2015. According to him, the Buhari-led administration has outlined 3 specific areas, which include security, the economy, and how to curb corruption in public offices.
The 2017 Democracy Day also marks the 2nd anniversary of the President Buhari-led administration. Thus, the occasion provides an opportunity to assess the performance of the government 2 years on. Acting President Professor Yemi Osinbajo addresses Nigerians, stating some of the successes of the Buhari administration, which include the decimation of the Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast. Professor Osinbajo, however, acknowledges the economic challenges the government has grappled with in the last 2 years. He outlined some steps taken by the government to address those challenges.
The existing 3,000. Admittedly, the economy has proven to be the biggest challenge of all. But let me first express just how concerned we have been since this administration took office about the impact of the economic recession on our citizens. We have been extremely mindful of the many sacrifices that you've had to make over the last few years. And for this reason, this administration's work on the economic front has been targeted at a combination of short-term interventions to cushion the pain, as well as medium to long-term efforts aimed at rebuilding an economy that is no longer helplessly dependent on the price of crude oil. Those short-term interventions include putting together a series of bailout packages for our state governments to enable them bridge their salary shortfalls, an issue that the President has consistently expressed his concerns about. The President also promised that 2017 would see the rollout of executive orders to facilitate government approvals, support procurement of locally made goods, and improve fiscal responsibility. We have kept that promise. This month, we issued 3 executive orders to make it easier for citizens to get the permits and licenses they require for their businesses, to mandate government agencies to spend more of their budgets on locally produced goods, and to promote budget transparency and efficiency. We also began the hard work of laying out a framework for our social intervention program, the most ambitious in the history of the country.
Going forward, the acting president calls for the cooperation of the citizens to rebuild the economy.
As citizens, you all deserve a country that works, not merely for the rich or connected, but for everyone. And our promise to you is that we will, with your support and cooperation, take every step needed to create that country of our dreams. We ask for your continued cooperation and support to enable us realize all of our best intentions and ambitions for Nigeria.
In the broadcast, the acting president asked Nigerians to pray for the safe return of President Buhari, who is on medical vacation.
Before I end this speech, let me ask for your continued prayers for the restoration to full health and strength and the safe return of our president.
May 29 every year is set aside in Nigeria as Democracy Day to mark the transition from military government to civilian in 1999. The day has also afforded successive governments the opportunity to assess how much they have delivered on their campaign promises to the people.
The Democracy Day celebration used to be accompanied by events and festivities to mark Nigeria's return to democratic leadership about 18 years ago. However, this year it was mostly celebrated low-key, with some states choosing not to mark it at all. Our next report brings you events from different parts of the northern Nigeria to mark the 2017 Democracy Day.
Exercise of powers conferred on me by law.
As part of activities to mark his administration's 2 years in office, Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has pardoned 24 prisoners serving various jail terms across the state. In a statewide broadcast, the governor says the gesture is in line with the powers conferred on him by Section 212 of the 1999 Constitution.
The release orders have been signed for 23 convicts, including 15 who have 3 years or less to complete their terms. 4 have been pardoned for good behavior, 2 are released on grounds of age, and 1 person serving life is pardoned after having spent 25 years in jail.
In Benue State, Governor Samuel Otem urged farmers to take advantage of the growing demand for food across the country by increasing production through its agricultural revolution programs. Governor Otem was speaking during the 2017 Democracy Day celebration, where he used the occasion to flag off the 2017 fertilizer distribution scheme in the state. And in Bauchi State, Governor Muhammad Abubakar marked the day with a broadcast reading out his achievements in the area of health, education and infrastructure development. He called on all citizens of the state to work with his government to continue to deliver on the dividends of democracy.
We intend to redouble our efforts and improve on the successes so far recorded. I, however, urge you to continue to put your trust in us and never allow yourself to be manipulated by agents of disruption.
In Kwara State, the annual Democracy Day celebration did not take place as the Metropolitan Square venue was empty. The senior special assistant to the governor on media explains the reason why there were no activities to mark today.
Democracy Day is being celebrated in Kwara, not with a ceremony. And the reason for that is because of the ongoing 50th anniversary celebration of the state. We had to step it down. The actual ceremony had to be stepped down because of the ongoing celebration, because a lot of time and resources and attention has been devoted to that.
And in Kogi State, Governor Yahaya Bello commissioned an automated office complex at the State Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs as part of activities to mark the 2017 Democracy Day.
We came on board with virtually zero infrastructure. And where we are now is one of the testimonies of what is to be expected more ahead. Here is a building that was built from the scratch to completion, well automated, fully automated. All the local government, 21 local government will be administered from here.
The Nasarawa State Governor calls on Nigerians to pray for the well-being of President Muhammadu Buhari.
It is therefore pertinent to use this occasion to pray fervently for the well-being, good health, stamina, strength, and vision of our dear President.
The governors all asked for patience and support from Nigerians as they work to make the various states, and indeed the country, a better place. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
Here in the South, governors restated their commitment to the stability of democracy, completion of projects and providing employment. This is in line with the Democracy Day celebration, which was held in various parts of the country. Our correspondent, Osinbajo, has a report.
Every year on May 29th, Nigerians across the country gather to celebrate democracy in recognition of the bold step taken in 1999 when military rule was shown the exit and Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was sworn in as elected president. Since then, there is a familiar template that is played out, a crowd that gathers and cheers, marches by security agents and volunteers, music and dance, and from governors are well-drafted speeches of assurances, achievements, and promises.
We wish to reassure you that we will continue to run an open and accountable government. We will continue to consult you every step of the way. Though we have not got it absolutely right of democratic practices, but there's light at the dark end of the tunnel. Those of us occupying serious positions of public trust, whether at the center, at the state level, or in the local government, must realize that our people look to us for quality leadership.
Ogun State is in its way and form. It's a state that, yes, we are grateful to God, but it needs a lot of effort. So you really must want to do the job, to go there, to go and do. And you see what we are doing there, a 110-kilometer road.
Going further, inconsistent with this concern that I've raised, and that's why we in the government and people of Cross River State we are declaring an additional equipment of 1,000 people as part of my democracy celebration.
All these words are enough to fill the common man with confidence that there are better days ahead for Nigeria. Even in the midst of security, employment, and other challenges the country is facing, the hope for the better is strong. It is difficult to find a perfect ruling system, but it appears that democracy has the largest support base, most probably because of its most popular definition as being of the people, by the people, and for the people. Osinbajo, Channels Television News.
Also in Zamfara State, the Governor Abdulaziz Yari marked the democracy with hundreds of citizens in the International Trade Fair Center in Gusau, the state capital. Apart from using the platform to showcase his administration's achievements, he paid tribute to the architects of democracy.
A well-attended Democracy Day celebration holding at the Trade Fair Complex in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital.
The member representing Moru Bongodu.
Students, men, women and youths of the state join in celebrating 6 years of the present administration in Zamfara state. The governor arrives. He exchanges pleasantries with traditional rulers and senior government officials before settling down. A few goodwill messages and the governor mounts the podium. First, he acknowledges the struggles of those who paid the price for Democracy Day celebration.
As we commemorate this historic day, let me pay a special tribute to the man and women who struggled and sacrificed led to emergence of democracy order in 1999. There was a heroic sacrifice that has earned them the lasting place in the annal of our political history.
The governor also uses the platform to reel out his achievements.
We principally believe the construction of roads in our rural and urban communities will significantly contribute in the realization of government goals in other equal critical such as education and health. These inform our decision to focus a greater attention to building, reconstructing and rehabilitating our urban and rural infrastructure year in, year out.
The governor, who also doubles as chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, believes that the 2 years left for him to complete his term will see more development in the state.
In part two, after the break, we continue our assessments of the Buhari-led administration's second year with our guests, human rights lawyer Clement Wangwo. Please join us again.